Good morning, everybody. If you look closely, you can see Wisconsin deer. They are on the run. The name of this story is called Reflections. Well, let me first say thank you for stopping by. I'm glad you're here. And again, this is a short story that's taken from a book that I wrote several years ago, and I want to share it with you. And it's time for another story. Allow the Lord to reign deep in your heart, now and forevermore, and you will always have a soft place to dwell. Life is an experiment orchestrated by God. The final grade is pass or fail. Which category do you fall under? There's no in between. At the end of the experiment, God will be the only judge and will separate the good from the bad. We have to look at our own lives. How are you doing? Do you believe that there is a God? If so, do you live a life that coincides with the teachings of God? Do we love our neighbors because they are human beings made by God and allowed to exist in this world? Are you able to stand behind God's truths and deny evil, whatever form it comes in? Do you use God's truths as a platform to guide and help you make all decisions? God's truths guides my life and strengthens me when I am weak. When decisions have to be made and sadness comes, or when happiness comes, I only need to bow my head, pray, and give thanks. God is always there. And it is with this knowledge that I am sharing some of my personal experiences with you. As I look around, I see many people engaging in activities that are in opposition to God's teachings. For example, people who hate others because they belong to a different racial, economic, or ethnic group. Yet, these same people profess to be Christians while blatantly ignoring that God says that we are to love our neighbors. God will take our lives to where He wants them to go if we allow Him to. This movement reminds me of a game that I used to play as a child called Connect the Dots. The goal of the game was to keep connecting dots and looking for opportunities to be the player to connect the last two dots, forming a square, thus claiming that square as your own, putting the initial of your first name in it. And here's an example of what I'm talking about. I think they call it dots and boxes. That's the name of it. And if you look at this sheet of paper, you can draw lines horizontally, or you can draw lines vertically. And if you keep going, and if you're the last person to connect the dots or make a box, then you get to put your initials in it. So the person with the most boxes win the game. And I used to play this game when I was in elementary school, when we had free time. It's fun. It was fun. It gave us something to do. Let's go on. Through a series of calculated moves, God takes us from one point to the next, and ultimately we end in a comfortable and peaceful place, just like this game. Sometimes we can't see where we're going, but the Lord knows exactly where we're going. He knows the time you're going to get there. He knows the things that we are going to go through. But keep your eyes on the goal. Pray and ask God. I should say pray and believe and ask God to get you to where you would like to go. Now, on the other side of that, I think your prayer should say, God, please take my plans and align it to your will. So that way you'll know that if I get there, this was part of God's plan. If I don't get there, then it wasn't a part of his plan. I mean, either way, you feel good because you know that the Lord is looking out for you. He is in control. I think it's so important that we take time out from our busy schedules just to reflect, just to go back and take a look at some of the things we did, some of the things that we said. That way, we can better prepare ourselves and figure out where we need to go. Now, don't stay in the past. Come back to the present because we can't live our lives in the past. We have to deal with what we have at hand. I want you to be encouraged. God is still connecting our dots. And you're going to have a lot of wins. You may lose a few, but you will have a lot of wins. And those wins are going to be so good. So again, I encourage you to go out and have a beautiful day. Enjoy your life. And I'll see you next time.